So now let's continue with our series on previous year questions of Indian economy. So till previously we have seen why previous year questions are important. At the same time, what its importance is, how to utilize the previous year questions. We discussed that as well, how to best utilize it for our preparation. We also saw the different topics and how many questions are asked on that. And we started with the basic concepts. We did 4 questions. Now we will move on to the 5th one and go forward from there. So basic concepts had total 17 questions, economic measurements 27, money and banking 56, economic sector 60 and socio-economic sectors 32. In all, every year almost 15 questions are being asked. In the last 13 years, 192 questions have been asked. Now, if you follow the lectures which are being, lectures, if you attend all those lectures, if you attend this previous year question series and the NCERT lectures along with the current affairs and the notes that we provide, you should be in a situation to answer more than 12 questions out of the 15 asked. You can of course answer all 15, but definitely, you can say that more than 12 questions you can very easily answer. Alright, having said that, let's now continue with the basic concepts of economy. And let's move on to the 5th question. So here's your 5th question. What does it say? It says that economic growth in country X. So we are talking about the economic growth where in country X. So economic growth in country X will necessarily, this word is very important, will necessarily have to occur if. In economics, 2 types of words are very important. One is may and the other one is necessarily. When you talk about may, if there is a chance of something even 1%, then that statement would be correct. When you talk about necessarily, then that thing needs to be 100% happening for it to be correct, or else the statement will be wrong. Generally, it so happens when there is a may attached, the statement will more often than not be correct. When there is a word necessarily attached, the statement would be more often than not incorrect. But not always. There would be some statements which will have necessarily word and still be correct. The example is this question. They are saying necessarily have to occur. So one of them has to be correct, right? But keep in mind, may almost, majority of the time it will be correct, because even if there is 1% chance, it is a correct statement. For necessarily, a particular thing has to 100% happen in order to be, for this statement to be correct. Having said that, let's move on. Economic growth in country X will necessarily have to occur if option 1 says there is technical progress in world economy. Now what's the issue with this? Forget technical progress. Let's say we don't know what is technical progress, but we at least know that they are talking in the world economy. So it is possible that the world economy is technologically advancing, but the country X is not. Because what do you understand by technological advancement in the world economy? The world economy as a net has an advancement in technology, but does not mean each and every country is advancing in technology. Some of the countries may go down, but others may go up with a higher amount. So the net impact is positive, right? So improvement or progress in technology or a technical progress in world economy need not necessarily mean technical progress in country X. So anyhow, this statement is wrong, first of all. Secondly, if instead of world economy I would have written country X, then what? Then also just the technical progress will not do anything. Let's say you do not have skilled laborers in that particular technology, then what? So you will not be able to harness or utilize the technology which you have advanced. Having said that, the option would have become more tough if they would have given country X, but UPSC makes it easier for us. Given world economy, it is wrong. Second, there is population growth in X. Now population growth need not, when population growth is there, doesn't mean that all the growth of population is of skilled laborers and all like that. No. So just because of the increase in the population would not necessarily mean that the economy is growing, right? So this is also wrong. Then option D says volume of trade grows in the world economy. Now again, forget about volume of trade. It is again saying world economy. So this option will be wrong again. Just because there is an increase in the volume of trades in world economy doesn't necessarily mean this volume would also increase in this country X also. That's point number one. Point number two, again let's take another same example. If they would have said country X, then what? Even in that case, volume increase literally could mean nothing. Why? Because they are saying volume increase. They did not say value increase. Just take an example. For example, you go out shopping, you buy 10 shirts. So the volume of your shopping is 10. I go out, I buy one diamond necklace. Volume of my shopping is 1. Each of your shirts were worth 100,000 rupees. So 10 shirts of 1,000 rupees gives you 10,000 rupees value. Your volume was 10 shirts, your value is 10,000. My volume was just one diamond necklace, but the value is, let's say, 10 lakhs. So the value is what of my shopping? 10 lakhs. So even with low volume, the value could be high. Even with high volume, value could be less. So even if they would say it is the volume of trade grows in country X, does not necessarily mean there is economic growth, because it is possible that the volume might have gone up, but the value would have come down. Clear? To simplify it, let's say you buy 100 units of something at rupees 10 each. So you get a total of rupees 10,000. Now this is the volume, guys, 100 units. This is the value, 10,000. This is case 1. Now let's look at case 2. In case 2, you buy, let's say, 200 units, right? Each at the price of rupees 2. Now what is the value? The value is only 400, right? This year, let me take it to be 100 and let me take it to be 20, so that calculation is proper. 100 units at 100 rupees each will give you 10,000. 200 units, there is an increase. This is volume. This is volume, and volume has increased. 200 units are there, but value, what happened to value? Each unit on an average cost rupees 20, so the value is only 4,000. So volume increased but value decreased. So an increase in volume need not necessarily lead to increase in value, and hence need not necessarily lead to economic growth. First we rejected just because it was world economy, but we thought if instead of world economy, because when you are analyzing previous year question, it is not just to get the right answer and move ahead, but to analyze it. What if they would have given country X? Because tomorrow they can ask a question like this, then you should not get confused. So if they would have given country X, still it would be wrong, because this would be wrong because the volume of trade is increasing, not necessarily the value. So this is also wrong. The only option we are left with is option C, that if there is a capital formation in country X. So basically UPSC just wanted you to know whether you know the meaning of capital formation or not. That is the basic concept they are checking. Now let us understand what is capital formation. So for capital formation to occur, an economy should have saved amount of money, and this saved amount of money would be called as a capital formation or capital accumulation of the economy when you use it for capital or asset formation, creation. And the moment you do this, the classical definition of capital or asset formation is what? It generates revenue. So when your economy is having that saved amount which is being utilized for capital or asset formation, it will lead to revenue. More revenue means economic growth. And they are clearly saying this, there is capital formation in country X. They did not say world. If they would say world, then again it would not necessarily lead to economic growth in country X. But they mentioned in country X. So this statement is the right statement. Alright, let's move on to the next question. Question number 6 says, consider the following statements about the correct order of the stages of demographic transition associated with economic development. Basically asking what will be the demographic transition with respect to the economic development that is happening. Okay, so they have given low birth rate, low death rate, high birth rate, high death rate, high birth rate, low death rate. So basically they have given us birth rate and death rate. So first statement, low birth rate, low death rate, low, low. Second, high birth rate, high death rate, high, high. Third is high birth rate and low death rate, high birth rate and low death rate. Now, when you talk about a very highly developed economy, you will have low birth rates. Why? Because you have hospitals, you have institutionalized delivery, you have good drinking water, good sanitary provisions, and better standard of living. So in a very highly developed economy, let's say an ideally high developed economy will have very low death rates. So very low death rates are where? Here as well as here. Okay, now this economy would also, so this is the case that is of high, very high developed economy. Now both of them not be correct, one of them will be correct, we'll see which one. At the same time, what about the opposite of it? The economy which is least developed would have probably the highest rate of death, because no proper hospital facilities, healthcare, medical care facilities, no proper sanitation, no proper drinking water, neonatal death, maternal mortality, that child mortality, infant mortality. So death rates would be high. And there is only one statement which has high death rate, that is statement 2. The statement 2 should then come first. And there is only one option wherein statement 2 is first, that is option C. So the correct answer would be option C, but you still need to check other options also. So let us see. So as I was saying that death rate would be high. Because death rates would be high, birth rate would also be high. How is that possible? Because the society understands that because people are dying, neonatal deaths, mortality is happening, because of which we need to reproduce more children in order for few of them, one or two of them at least, to survive till the old age of ours, right? So the society tries to compensate for that, as a result of which the birth rates would also be high. Also for socio-economically backward societies, countries, regions, states, the children act as revenue sources also. Child labor, begging, all those things are prevalent. So initially high birth rates, high death rates. Then before the birth rates come down, death rates have to come down. See, because high death rates were there, that is why society was reproducing more. So for society to reproduce less, first the society need to understand that the deaths have come down, so that now if I reproduce just 2 children, they would still survive. That should be there. Only then the society would act. So first the death rate should come down. So the next one would be death rate coming down, but birth rate still being high. So after 2 we would have 3. After 2 we would have 3, and then finally the most developed economy would have low death rates. All the facilities are there, healthcare is there, and the society also reciprocates and would have low birth rates. So that is low birth rate, low death rate is option 1. So 2, 3 and 1. I hope that's clear. Let's now move on to the next question. The next question says that microfinance is the provision of financial services to people of low income groups. This includes both the consumers and the self-employed. The services rendered under microfinance are what? So if you know what is microfinance, if you know the concept of microfinance, you will easily get the answer. We know financing, the banks finance us. Then there is a concept of microfinance. So microfinance, why it is having the word micro? Micro means a very small amount. The amount being financed here would be small. Rest, everything will be similar only. The moment you understand this, it becomes so easy. Credit facilities, yes, financing is what? Giving credit. The bank finances you to purchase a house by giving house loans. Now microfinance may not give that much of amount, 40, 50, 60 lakhs. They would give small amount. That is why the word micro is there, but they will still finance you. So the concept and similarities will be there, it's just that the amount will be lower, right? So credit facilities, yes. Saving facilities, yes. Insurance, yes. Fund transfers, yes. All these facilities which are there in financing, in banking financing, it is also there in microfinances, but the amounts are limited or less, that's all. So your microfinance will have credit facilities, so this option goes away. It will have savings facilities, so this goes away, only option left is this, but we saw others also, it has other options as well. Okay, so don't worry when you look at microfinance, the concept is similar. And also micro, because they are targeting what? They are targeting low income group. Low income group would not want 20-30 lakh money to buy a luxury car or 80 lakh worth of home loan for houses. They would want small amount of money to take care of small requirements and do small businesses, right? So low income groups are the target, and that's why microfinance, the concept is similar. Yeah, coming on to the next question. Now this question is a type of question wherein you have to understand, either you may know it or you don't know it, you can't do anything about it. However, since this is the question we are discussing in an economy class, economy previous year question class, you can actually answer this. But in paper, it is not under heading that this is economy, this is polity, so you may not know. So at the end of the day, you may either know it or not know it. Okay, so let's come on to this question. As a result of their annual survey, the National Geographic Society and an international polling firm, GlobeScan, gave India top rank. Top rank in what? In Greendex score. What is this score? Statement 1, option 1. It measures efforts made by different countries in adopting technologies for reducing carbon footprint. No. Why? I told you we are discussing this in economy. This is more related to environment. C. It is an assessment of program schemes undertaken by different countries for improving conservation of natural resources. Environment related. It is an index showing volume of carbon credits sold by different economies. It can be to an extent economy related, but majorly in environment you will study that. B option, it is a measure of environmentally sustainable consumer behavior. Where do you study consumer behavior? In environment? No. You study it in economy. To be specific, microeconomics. So you study that in economics in different countries. So this is the right answer. But we knew that because I am taking this under economy. What about UPSC? In UPSC, either you know this Greendex score or you don't. However, do not worry, this was a previous year question asked because this was in news. So now if anything is in news where India is topping, you should, as a serious aspirant, you should be knowing that. You will anyhow get to know that. Okay. So what is Greendex score? Greendex score is a measure of environmentally sustainable consumer behavior. It's not checking about the production, how many ACs are produced. No, it has been produced, you purchased one, I purchased one. How we are using it, how much is the wastage, what is the utilization, all those things are very important. And that will be taken into account as consumer behavior, and in that environmentally sustainable consumer behavior, India is ranked 1. Okay, moving on to the next question. It says that if another global financial crisis happens, another global financial crisis means which one was the previous one? 2008 global financial crisis, starting from USA due to its subprime housing loan issue. Alright. So happens in the near future, which of the following action policies are most likely to give some immunity to India. Number one, not depending on short-term foreign borrowings. Yes, the lesser your dependency on foreign borrowings, whether it is short-term, long-term, more so short-term because it's a short-term, we have to give it back in short-term, right? The lesser the dependency on foreign borrowings, the more immune we will be, because it's a global crisis. So if we are entangled more with the global world, more impact will be there to us. The less involvement, the less impact. So this will help. So this goes out of the window. Second, opening up to more foreign banks? Absolutely not. That's not going to help. If we are more open to the foreign banks, we become more susceptible. Whatever issues they are having, we may also have it. So this is wrong. So 2 is wrong, so this is wrong, this is wrong, we are left with only one option, but still see the third option. Third option says full capital account convertibility. Again, this will not help. If there is full capital account convertibility, the money, the dollars from India will fly away. What do we mean by full capital account convertibility? That means whatever your capital account is, and you have some dollars stored in it, you can you have some dollars stored in it. You can directly convert the entire amount as per the market value. You can convert it up to 100% and take your money out. So the dollars and all will fly away from India. That is why full capital account convertibility will not help. What is the opposite of it? Let's say not opposite, but instead of full, if it is partial, let's say 50% you can convert. So 50% may go out at market value, but still 50% would still remain and may go out at a value lesser than the market value, right? So full capital account convertibility is not going to help. So this is also wrong. The only correct answer is statement 1. So the correct option is A, 1 only. All right. Now moving on. If you withdraw rupees 1 lakh in cash, you withdraw rupees 1 lakh in cash from your demand deposit account. So they just want you to know the concept of demand deposit account. They are asking that if you withdraw 1 lakh in cash from your demand deposit account at your bank, the immediate effect on aggregate money supply, immediate effect on aggregate money supply in the economy will be what? Will it reduce it, to reduce it by 1 lakh, to increase it by 1 lakh, to increase it by more than 1 lakh, or to leave it unchanged? Now let's understand the concept of demand deposit account. Demand deposit account means whenever you want the money, you can withdraw it, right? So whenever you want, you can withdraw it. It is as good as that the money is with you, correct? Take for example, you want to order some food. Right, you pay online. So that money just a while ago was stored with the bank, but you immediately utilized it and spent it. So it is available to you like this, then and there. It's as good as it is with you. It is as good as you have cash in hand, right? And you can spend. It's a part of your purchasing power and you can spend it. It is not that you will get it after 1 year or you will get it when the bank says no. It's demand deposit account. That means whenever you demand it from the bank, you will get it. Clear? Since whenever you will demand it, you will get it. That means it is as good as in your hand. That means it is as good as the part of the market. That means what? It means, will it reduce? The aggregate money supply in the economy will be reduced? No. Because the supply was already there when it was in the demand deposit account. When you withdraw, it is also as, because having in demand deposit account is as good as having in your hand. So when you withdraw it and have in your hand, it is still the same thing. So will it reduce the aggregate money supply in the economy? No. Will it increase it? No. So it will not increase by any amount, either by 1 rupee, 1 lakh or more than 1 lakh. Either by less than 1 lakh or more than 1 lakh, it will not increase. So this is also wrong. So what will it do? It will leave things unchanged. To leave things unchanged. Is this absolutely clear? It leaves things unchanged. Why? Because without withdrawing also you would have spent. You withdrew it, now you spent. So it was anyhow as good as in your hand. So it does not change it does not have any immediate effect or any effect for that matter on the aggregate money supply in the economy. On the aggregate money supply in the economy, it will have no impact on. I hope this is absolutely clear. Now, in the next class, we'll do the remaining questions, and in the subsequent classes, we will take off different topics as well.